This is the third and final video of the Cricut frequently asked questions, and this question is, what can you make with a Cricut? There's not enough time in the world to answer that, mostly because a lot of things I just haven't figured out yet, but I'm working on it, slowly. You've seen me make a few things already, starting with the more traditional cards, stickers, Ironons, things like that. In the last video, I made this key rack with all the different types of materials, well, not all of them, a lot of different types of materials, and this time I'm going to focus more on the clothing aspect, also the dishes aspect, but we'll start with the clothing. Aside from the things that we normally associate with Cricut, things like vinyl cutting and card making and what have yous, another thing that is really easy to do is customizing your own clothes. So there are quite a few ways to do that, and even maybe a couple that you haven't thought of. I'll start with the obvious ones. Cricut has a lot of options for iron-ons, and they're super easy to do. Mine aren't that exciting because of course I always go with black or white, or black and white, sometimes red. But the point still stands. They have a bunch of different materials that you can get to iron on to your clothes, including this holographic one, which I haven't tried yet, but I probably should have for this video. If you prefer your design to be a little more ingrained into your material, they also have the infusible ink. Two different kinds, which you already know because you watched my last two videos, right? They're the infusible ink pens, which is what this is, which allows multiple colors because you print it out and then you can color it in with the pens. You can use the pens with the machine, or you can do it freehand, or a mixture of both, which is what I like. That's why I got this little red bit here. I'm running on quarter heart. We're good. The other option for infusible ink are the transfer sheets. Which I think are a little bit easier actually, and you can get these nice big block letters without having to do the color in time. And when I say big block letters, I mean big block letters. You can also mix and match. A little bit of iron-on, a little bit of ink transfer. There are two things that I tried out for the first time today with this method. And by this method, I mean the one I'm about to tell you about. I got some spray-on fabric paint, which I did not know existed, but it actually kind of makes sense. Anyways, this was probably the fastest because all I had to do was make the stencil, place it directly on the shirt, and spray paint over it. Because the Cricut already cuts into vinyl, it's just like putting a sticker on, so it's actually a lot easier than a regular stencil. You might be thinking this doesn't look like much, but the reason why I chose this spray is because it glows in the dark. That's so cool. Can I come out now? This was probably my most ambitious one. Actually, it most definitely is my most ambitious one because I decided that I wanted to try screen printing. And the reason why I give it air quotes is because I probably did it in the most awkward way possible, but I don't actually know how to screen print, and other than the fact that I once made a cart that had a screen printing station on top of it, I don't have any of those things here, so I kind of made it up as I went along. I figured out that this frame for embroidery doesn't do a bad job of holding the screen taut. The problem was that I got the smallest one they had because I don't know how to measure things, and it was almost exactly the same size as the squeegee, so very awkward, but effective. I think for a first time around, it came out pretty good, other than the fact that it seems to be a little bit tilted, but I won't hold that against it. One thing that I wanted to try for a while is using the Cricut to make stencils that I would then use in the sand blaster. Yes, I have a sand blaster. So I picked up a few glass dishes from the store and tried out this method, and it worked extremely well. Another super cool thing with the Cricut is you can actually take a photo, upload that into the design space, and take it from there, whether you want to make a sticker or an iron-on or, I don't know, a card. You can do that. In fact, I took a picture of this shirt and I turned it into a sticker. And it looks fantastic. It is the grumpiest little pig ever. Well, I hope that helped, because this is the last video on the frequently asked questions. I'm sure I'm going to get these questions again, but now I have somewhere to refer people to. Again, if you have a Cricut and you figured out a fun way to use it, tell me in the comments, because I'm always looking for new ideas. Okay, I think I'm done now.